Hello, my name is Linda Mashansky, and I'm a volunteer with the Duke of Edinburgh International Award Program. To help you meet the requirements for the preliminary training of your adventurous journey, we have put together a number of informational videos. At the end of the video will be a means for you to document that you have fulfilled this requirement, either with a certificate or authorization that can be printed off and downloaded to your online record book. In this video, I will be going over meal planning and preparation. Take the time to plan your menu carefully. You need proper fuel for your body in order to have a successful, adventurous journey. What your menu will look like will depend on a number of factors. Some of the more important ones are what you like to eat and any dietary restrictions, the type of journey that you're doing, and the season. First of all, only plan to take things that you like to eat. Your adventurous journey, in most cases, is not the time to try new food or new cooking techniques. When on the trail, it is not time to discover that you do not like chili. Trying out new recipes and new cooking techniques should be done during your practice journey. The only time you would not take this into consideration is if your exploration includes experiencing local cultural cuisine. Always take into consideration dietary restrictions, especially if you're planning your meals with a group. Best practice is to plan your meals together. Keep in mind the food guide to ensure you have a well-balanced diet. On the expedition, you must include fats, proteins, as well as carbohydrates or sugars in the proper proportions to get you through the day. Backpacking requires you watch the weight of your food. Therefore, dehydrated or freeze-dried options are recommended. If you're canoeing or using a base camp, you have a greater weight for your food items, but do keep in mind you may have to carry the things during portages or into your campsite. There are also more opportunities to keep your food fresh in this case as well. The time of year means you have to consider how to keep your food from spoiling. Summer heat can make fresh meat and milk products unsafe for consumption very quickly. In the winter, your food will freeze solid and will require you to plan the extra fuel and different meal prep strategies before you can eat it. When deciding on your menu, I recommend that you map out your meals, like I have here. Depending on your schedule, decide on how many breakfasts, lunches, and evening meals you require. Always plan an extra day's worth of meals just in case you get delayed on the trip. Don't forget snacks and beverages as well. Requirements for your adventurous journey includes at least one hot meal during the day. I have found what works best is to have a hearty breakfast in the morning to get you started, light snacks and lunch during the day that require little to no prep, followed by a robust hot evening meal that can be prepared as you set up your camp at night. Here's an example of a day's meal for an expedition. Breakfast is instant oatmeal with dried fruit, juice, and coffee. Snacks, a granola bar with water. Lunch, beef jerky, cheese, crackers, dried fruit, and some water. Your snack in the afternoon, a fruit bar or trail mix, water, which you can add flavor crystals to if you like. And your evening meal, beef stew, apple cider, and instant pudding. Your menu also depends on how you plan to cook your meal. If you're using a single burner stove, one pot meals are the way to go. If you're using multiple burner stoves, then you have more options available for you. Do not plan on using a campfire unless you're in an area where open fires are allowed, but still have a stove as a backup. Weather and fire bans can result you in eating cold mush. Also, do not plan on catching your supper or picking up wild berries on the trail. These are good unplanned supplements, but still have your planned meals for you. When packaging your meals, there are many ways that you can do it. One suggestion is you put everything you require for the meal in a Ziploc bag labeled with what it is and how to prepare it. For example, I have a breakfast here that has oatmeal. Put all the meals and the snacks for that day in a larger bag. So here is my breakfast, here is my lunch, my snacks, and here is my supper. Then you pack these in your gears in order of consumption. So the meals for your last day you put at the bottom, your second last day on top, and so on. Drinks and spices can be packed in separate bags along with your snacks as well. What I find works really good for your spices are containers such as these. They are waterproof, they are tight, and they do not take up much room, and you can also get lots of them into your pack. Get rid of much of the extra packaging as possible. This results in less garbage that you're required to pack out. Once you have your meal planned, to put together your grocery list. There are many prepared meals that you can buy in outdoor stores such as this, but they can be very expensive. With little preparation, you can make delicious meals on your own. If you have access to a food dehydrator, use it to dry your food to prevent spoilage, especially in the summer, and if required, to minimize the waste. I have some examples of some home dehydrated products. To make beef stew, for example, I first cooked 760 grams of extra lean ground beef, removing as much of the fat during the cooking as possible. When fully cooked, I blotted out any remaining fat and moisture using paper towels and a cookie sheet. The meat was then placed in the dehydrator overnight. The result is this 100 grams of dried hamburger. Now to make my stew, I will add one container of bouillon cube, some spice package that you can buy, as well as some dehydrated vegetables. Putting these all together, this bag will make a full meal course for 3 to 4 people. I also have some examples of other products that can be used for meals. Using mixes such as this, things like instant potatoes, noodles, and other soup mixes are stuff you can buy off the shelf and work very, very good. If you are using a mix, make sure you check what other ingredients you need. For example, this Bisquick mix, which makes very good breakfast food, all you need to add is water. You don't have to worry about taking eggs or oil with you. Now, if you don't have access to a dehydrator, you can also use your own oven. Place the food on a cookie sheet, and with your oven set at the lowest possible temperature, cook it overnight with the door slightly ajar. In the morning, you'll end up with the same result as this. When on the trail, I found the best way to rehydrate your food is to empty the package into a wide-mouth bottle such as this. Fill it with just enough water to cover the food. Attach it to the outside of your pack after you give it a good shake. As you're walking along, check it and add more water as required. When you get to your campsite at the end of the day, your food will be fully rehydrated and ready for you to cook with a little bit more water that you use to rinse out your container afterwards. Now for a few tips. Having your hot meal at the end of the day is recommended. As you and your partner set up camp, you can have more time for your meal to cook. As well, your stove can cool down overnight before packing it up, and you have more time to do your cleanup. Weather, though, or emergency circumstances may necessitate something different, though. Quick no-cook meals for lunch allows for shorter stops, and you do not feel rushed to get to your destination at that night. Be sure to increase your water or fluid consumption. Eating dried foods means your body must do the rehydration. There are many online sites with sample menus and recipes. In fact, our Adventurous Journey Preliminary Resource Booklet, which is available online, has a number of recipes in it as well. Be sure to try out your recipes and your cooking techniques at home and on your practice journey. Have somebody look over your plans, especially if this is your first trip. They may spot something you have overlooked, or may have a suggestion or two for you. Share your meal plans with others in your group, or better yet, as I said before, plan them together, even if you are doing separate meals. This session is only the start of what there is to learn about meal planning and preparation. If you have any additional questions, do not hesitate to seek advice. Share what you have learned with others as well. Thank you.